Hello everyone out there. I'm attorney Brian Tierney. This is Breaking Bread with Brian. We're here today at Chuck's Southern Comforts Cafe. I like to call it Chuck's Barbecue for short. Very excited to be here. The food is incredible. Thank you to everybody at Chuck's for having us here to break bread today. The man behind the camera is Renee Costa of Blum Visial. If you want to take your marketing to the next level, you need to talk to Renee Costa. I'm here today with Gaspar Flores Sr. and Gaspar Flores Jr. They are the owners of Su Familia Real Estate here on the southwest side of Chicago. They are also both past Chicago chapter presidents of the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals, NAHREP for short. And that brings me to a fond memory I have of you guys. It was about 2 years ago. We were at Talia Hall in Pilsen for the holiday party. And you know, it's a beautiful atmosphere. Everyone is dressed to impress, and you guys are on stage front and center. And you were installing Gaspar Jr. as president. And it was one of those things where you're sitting in the audience and you can feel like the pride that your dad had when he was installing you, and like you could literally feel it. It wasn't something you just watched, like it was in the air, you know? And that was one of my fondest memories of you guys, and I was just gonna ask you, what was that like?
Oh my God, that's, people used to ask me that if that was like a dream I had, and I have to tell you that was beyond a dream. I never dreamt of my son being installed as the Chicago NAHREP president. You know, Alex Chaparro and myself had the honor to be the founders of NAHREP back in 2002.
Of the entire national?
No,
or just Chicago?
No,
chapter?
Chicago chapter.
Okay.
And along Alex and myself, we founded it back on 2002. But we were 6, 8, 14 members back then. And then I always dream about having a huge group, a huge representation.
You have it.
Yeah. Thank God it has grown this big. But having my son as the Chicago NAHREP president, that was unthoughtful. I never thought about it. I never believed he would, first of all, join real estate, and then second of all, continue the missions, the serving missions that I have strongly believed since the 90s. And that's one of the main things. I was just talking to a couple of my agents yesterday, and I was telling them that one of my biggest honors is when I have to go away to Mexico or just away for a few days, when I come back and having my clients tell me that they feel the same care, the same respect, and the same attention from my son that they feel from myself, that is the biggest thing. That is the biggest thing. I mean, the titles like the Chicago NAHREP president, and he also served for 3 years at the board of realtors of the association. He was a director for 3 consecutive.
Chicago Association?
Yes, he was on
Still
the board.
Connected with them? Or?
He was.
My term wraps up September. It's coming up.
That's his 3rd year serving.
I was just at the YPN breakfast yesterday. That was awesome.
Yeah.
There was such a good energy there, and it was just Mo Datka did a great job with it this year. So shout out to Mo Datka.
Yeah. Yep.
Main Street. They had so many great speakers this year, and just. They really continued on tradition really well. So I know you guys are behind the scenes working on all that. We had the white party back in, what was it, July we had it?
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. So we had July. I remember seeing you there, and we actually talked about doing this Breaking Bread for the first time then. So I knew it was meant to be, man. I'm glad you guys came out today. And then what was it like for you when he installed you?
Well, to me it was the only fitting way. I know that there was different options and different suggestions that were given to me, but to me personally, the only reason why I'm in real estate, the only reason why I have the drive that I have is because of my mentor and the push that I get from him, and my mother, because both of them are a team, and they both keep this engine moving more than anything.
Sounds good, yeah. And I've never had the pleasure of meeting your mom. I hope to have that pleasure sometime, because We just found out before this that we're neighbors. I grew up on one street, and they live the next street down. But I guess they keep it low key and relaxed in their personal time, and that's why I didn't know. We literally lived on the same block, so I'm sure I'll come down for a barbecue or a party sometime.
Sometime soon.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm there, man. I'm literally like, I'm gonna see my mom. I was just there at her house last night just to stop in and say hello real quick. I have dinner with her every week on Friday, so if I don't get over any other nights, at least Friday night. We always have dinner together, man. You gotta, this crazy life we live, you always gotta keep that time for your family.
I think that's the biggest blessing for me, being able to practice real estate. The fact that I get to do it with my parents every day, day in and day out.
Did your mom work at from there as well?
Yep.
She's a broker as well.
Yes,
No
yes.
kidding. Yeah, that I didn't even know. And that's what surprises me more, that I haven't met her, because your dad and I were just at a barbecue in June, hanging out. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit, but we were having some Modelo's, just relaxing, and enjoying the barbecue, which definitely next year I want to see you there, man. It's a great barbecue.
Yes.
Ozzy. Oh my God. Ozzy is the best chef, the best,
Okay, because that's what I was going to ask you. I said, who was the chef at that barbecue?
Osvaldo Gutierrez.
It was Ozzy and
Marco
Marco Soriano.
Yes.
And Pete was back there from your
correct.
brokerage.
Yes,
Pete was back there kind of like for moral support, to like drink with them, just like smell how good the grill smelled. But
I think it was the
cook
food
very well
tester.
there. And for all the viewers out there who have not went to that, shame on you all. Shame on you all. It's right at Bobby G's on the southwest side of Chicago. It's a Chicago staple, right in the neighborhood. We're out on the patio. Put it on your calendar. Don't make excuses, right? Like when you're making a calendar is only what you make of it. So if you're gonna put something on there and then I gotta do an appointment at that time. No, you tell the other person I already have an appointment, and that's it. And just we need that break, that release, that socializing. We were out there, and it's like having a family together. That can smell the
we had a
steak
family
being cooked and the burgers.
We had a realtor's family.
Yeah, and just beers. And it's like, we had a pretty decent turnout, but I know we can do better than that. So everybody out there who hasn't been, Southwest Realty Board, Southwest side of Chicago, Summer Barbecue, usually the first Wednesday in June. And they also have a nice Christmas party at the Mayfield. So supporting local business right there in the 60638 at the Mayfield. So I'll keep you guys all posted on that. Hopefully this year we don't do it on the same day as the Realty of Chicago Christmas party, which we did last year. So we were kind of competing with that. But were you the first president then of the Chicago chapter since you were
No, it was Alex Chaparro.
Okay.
It was Alex Chaparro. Yeah. Alex Chaparro, yes.
And then you succeeded him as the next one? Or
I had the honor to succeed Alex, and I was the vice president like for 2 or 3 years in a row when he was president, and we were able to put a real board together.
Yeah.
And all this came up with a huge support and help of Alex's wife. Talking about wives, talking about, Junior mentioned his mom. Our wives are our biggest supporters. And the reason I mention this is because of Susana, Alex's wife.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she was the secretary, she was the treasurer, she was the ensembler of the group, of the board. And she was there before.
She kept the organization for everything, kind of drove it along.
Yes.
Yeah, God bless her for doing that, because you guys should be there's not a person who can't be proud of what you guys have together today. I mean, NAHREP events are some of the best. I'm really looking forward to this year's Christmas party. I don't know if you announced it. I know where it's at, but I don't want to be the guy who's like, son of a gun. He announced it in September, we were waiting till like October or November.
No, it's been announced. Okay. We did announce it at
Alhambra
Palace, yes.
Yeah, I've never been there, so
it should be an awesome
maybe next level, because Talia Hall is already a very, very good venue for
so
it's different.
It's a different venue, different flavor, but it does hold more people. So we're hoping that more of our membership comes out and enjoys the night with us.
Oh, I'm sure they will, man. I'm sure they will, because very well, Attorney Brian Tierney will be there in attendance, and we'll be celebrating holidays to a good year past and another good year ahead. So I almost feel like, man, I should have had you guys join the show, around the holidays. So we could have celebrated that way, but it's all good.
Well, if you need a special guest for the holidays, just let us know.
Okay.
We'll sneak in.
You'd be glad to be back. Well, we're neighbors, so we could order it and just do this at somebody's house. But no, we got to support the restaurants.
Definitely.
So, do you know who the first, where was the charter of NAHREP? Where did that start? What city or state?
San Diego.
San Diego. We're taking it back this year. Have you ever had the conference there before?
San Diego.
Originally, no?
It's actually, yes, the first few years it took place in San Diego. And I have the honor to say that ever since when I was invited on a phone call directly from Mr. Gary Acosta and Ernie Reyes, they called me directly to invite me and to sell me the idea, what they have plans, what they were working on.
The national conference. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And, thank God I was able to understand their mission. I completely understood their mission. I completely understood and believed on their principles. They were able to, for Gary Acosta and Ernie, he passed away about 2 years ago.
Lord rest his soul. Yeah.
Yes, but he had
the vision, right?
He is the padrino. He was the padrino. He was the godfather. Ernie Reyes was a huge heart on NAHREP. But Gary Acosta, he had the structure, he had the discipline, he had the commitment, and
the drive.
The drive and
to get it here.
Yes, correct. And something that you have to be 110% convinced of your plan in order for you to be able to transmit it to others and convince them.
Yeah.
And he had it. Because he had the clear vision.
He had it, and that's what you needed.
He had the clear vision. Yes, and he had the clear vision. And speaking of wise, Kathy, my respects to Kathy Acosta, his wife. She's always been there as well, supporting him and supporting the mission on NAHREP. Always. I owe my belief on NAHREP to Gary and Kathy. I owe it to them. Yeah, they never get enough credit for what they are doing.
Well,
not for what they have done, but what they keep doing for NAHREP.
Yeah.
That is for the real estate industry nationally. And
it's
not only
about one
nationally.
Person, it's about all of us. Like, this is how we show that we're here and we're out here working hard.
Not only nationally, they were in Mexico last week. So not only nationally, they're
so we might be
worldwide.
Taking it international now, spreading word like what we're doing here in America.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
So,
there's so many. I love what I've already seen, and I know there's a lot of good ahead. That's the thing, because it's still in the beginning stages where you can really do something next level, like charity work and things like that, and just a lot of plans for the future. People don't know this, and they won't know this because we're filming now in August, and this will not air until September. So this is not going to air until actually right when you guys probably get back from NAHREP. So NAHREP National Conference ends on September 11th, I believe, right? That's the last date?
Well,
28 to 12.
To the 12th.
To the 12th.
Yeah,
Okay.
to the 12th.
So this will air in the evening of the 12th.
Okay.
So you guys will just be getting back, and and another thing is, it would be cool to talk to you guys afterwards too, which I'll do. But it would be nice to be doing this and to kind of hear what was the highlights for this year, because I've seen the emails and the Facebook posts about who the guests are this year. You have a lot of good guests. But who do we think? Who are we really looking forward to, and what's the best things about this year's NAHREP conference coming up?
I think the educational pieces. The guests only validate the strength of the educational pieces that they've put in place for it. I think any attendee for this conference will be able to come out feeling super excited and super re-energized for whatever career path it is that they have.
I love that, and we need that a lot. We really do, and that's why when I go to events, they're like, oh, it's an attorney, he's there, he's probably just trying to get business. Well, yeah, that comes with time, but it's not even really about that. Like, I'm a sponge. I go to observe, I always learn something new. Anything that I can learn new makes me a better advocate. Yeah. So, like, yesterday at the YPN breakfast, I get there, and I don't have a pen, but they put like who the speakers are, and they have a nice little printout, which is great that they do that. They leave them at the table, and they give us name tags if we want them. Those name tags, it never stays on your suit, and it's always peeling off, and you're always having to fix it. So I don't even bother wearing them. By now, people have figured out who I am. I know a lot. I know everybody. Everybody seems to know me. It is what it is, and that's awesome. I love it. But I take notes on the back of the card, so they leave the markers out there to write your name down. So they had interior designers, and they're talking about like what are the best colors of paint, what kind of window treatments you have. And I'm like, I don't use that a lot, but I could sound like real sophisticated at a wine and cheese party sometime in some baller conversation where I'm talking about, oh, you need slate gray, but in a matte finish or whatever. You know what I mean? So I learned that. They just did a health and wellness one last month. Was one of the best they've done. It was just the guests were incredible. They had the one like working with investors, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I need to know about that too.
Yeah.
So they bring in the best of the best here in Chicago to speak, and it was a great year for that. So I can't, like, I'm always learning, you know, whatever it is, whether it's NAHREP or whatever. I was just at the NAHREP conference in the spring here at Drury Lane in Oak Brook. I was listening to one of the accountants, Luis.
Yes.
So I stepped in. I wanted to learn about reinforce what I've learned about the tax changes that are coming in the next year. There's always something to learn. And you know what? That is a lovely atmosphere. You kind of feel like, are we at a wedding reception?
Like a family. Yeah, it is a
everybody's
familia.
there. I'm giving hugs to everybody, and I love it.
Yeah.
And you know, we had the food is always good. The staff there, everybody is getting to promote who they are. You walk down the main hallway. You have all the vendors. You have all the people in the industry, and then just the speakers and the the food. It's nice. It's just a really good gentleman and gentlewoman's event. You couldn't ask for better.
That's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, that's we just have so many things in common on the real estate industry. We just have so many things in common, and something that we have particularly on our Southwest area, something that we have a huge colleague type of
camaraderie, and business relationships.
Yes, and we're always trying to support each other. We don't really see. I always tell other brokers, I always tell them, to us, they're like business partners.
Yeah.
I would never see somebody else from another company as a competitor. I see them as a business partner.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
because
hey, Jim, how you doing? Like,
because we have the same,
yeah.
we have the same merchandise. Because of the MLS, we have the same product. We are selling the same homes. So
yeah, you might have a buyer, they might have a seller. Let's make it happen.
Yes,
and at the end of the day, they call our commissions a cooperation.
It's a co-op.
Cooperation.
It's a co-op.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, and I get it. And that's something we could do a whole show just about being in the real estate industry, being in the real estate industry, and how competitive it can be. Even though, if you know for sure, because you guys have been in the business long enough to know, there is enough work out there for everybody, and that's why it's in your best interest to cooperate. Because
always.
It could, I know this is kind of an extreme thing, probably doesn't really happen often, but when a listing is getting 3 offers put in and they see you on the other side of it versus maybe somebody else who like, oh yeah, I know what it's like to work with them, but then they're like, this working with them alone is enough for you to accept this offer, even though all other things being equal,
Correct.
And I think that's a big advantage of being involved, whether it's with NAHREP, YPN, any of the local associations or anything like that. You become more visible within your realtor community.
That's how it's born.
It shows that you guys are leaders, which you obviously are.
It's unbelievable how many names we know based on contracts and things like that. It's just so much more beautiful to put a face to it. And when we get that new contract afterwards, we don't think of a name, we think of the face, and now it's like,
yes,
I like the way you put that.
How they are.
Because that's a really good way to think about it, because in the paper it's just black and white, but behind everything is human.
There's a face to the name.
The people.
There's always a family that's trying to get into a home, or there's always somebody trying to help their family move into a better economic scale if they're an investor. So at the end of the day, it always winds down to family.
And that's our whole industry here in Chicago. Like, it's like families helping families. Like, this is what we do for a living.
Always.
And at the same time, we're literally helping people get to where they need to be in life, and just to have a place to live. And like, I count my blessings all the time, and about the way I was raised, and it's like to have a good roof over your head and have a place of peace and sanctity where like you can get away from the outside world, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on out there, but we're blessed to be right here in the same community.
Correct. Definitely. Yes. Yes. But it is a blessing to be on this field. It is a completely blessing to be part of the process of putting families in homes. The process of putting families in homes. It is an honor. I have always believed that that there are very few places that you can, by working hard, you can make a good living while helping others, and that is real estate. that is real estate. If you work consistently, you have to put your time in it. I'm not saying it comes easy or it comes along. It does not come by
People
itself.
might think it does because they see us on Facebook with the success at the end. It's like, that's like a nice thing at
3
the
to
very
4
end.
months of work. I just got put into it.
Yeah,
And, you know, the ups and downs of it all is mentally taxing too, and the drive that you do have to put in.
How we were talking about earlier, the things that don't even have anything to do with the transaction that we have to deal with.
Yeah, like the human side of it, people, and you gotta, and that's what I love when other professionals understand what you're going through, or we have to understand what the client's going through. It could be, I've had everything happen from, I had a client lose his job the day we were supposed to close. The seller had to reschedule because we didn't have a final water reading done or something yet. And let me explain to the viewers, if you don't know, the reason the city does not get stuck with a water bill, or a new buyer does not get stuck with a water bill, is they have to be paid by the seller before they'll allow you to close the transaction.
Correct.
So in this case, the seller did not yet have the final water reading. The closing was supposed to be Wednesday morning. He was laid off Wednesday afternoon. So the people's lives are on the line here.
Yeah.
And like their plans for the future and what would have been in a home changes, and that's the stuff we deal with too.
I had a situation earlier this year where one of the most joyous times of a family welcoming a newborn ended up being the deterrent on them being able to close on their home, because the wife's income was the primary on the loan.
Goodness.
So now we gotta wait till she
You
gets
need
back
a home
into
for
work.
your new
They
family.
still need a home.
And
Yeah.
you lose that main source of
They're still
income.
paying rent. They're still
Yeah.
paying living expenses. Not like those expenses that weren't there or are non-existent. So, unfortunately, there is us as professionals. We need to focus on the human aspect of it, because at the end of the day, somebody's always either going to benefit. Hopefully, always benefit.
Hopefully, yeah, most of the time, the vast majority of the time, yes.
Or if the care and the time is not really put into it, we could really harm a whole family unit for a certain amount of time until that's corrected, more or less.
Yeah, and I know what you mean, and and you guys are probably the same as me. So when I say this, you're like, okay, that hits home with me. What weighs on me most is the expectations of others, and I never want people to be disappointed in the product that I'm delivering. So I go to bed thinking about it. I wake up thinking about it. My assistants do too. So now, welcome to my world. This nightmare. We're living the dream, but it's sometimes gonna be nightmarish when you're literally like, there's 3 things you're thinking about. I have to do that in the morning, and then you're like too tired to get up and write it down or something. And you're like, oh my God, did I remember all 3 things or whatever?
But so many times, because of the way you're brainstorming about those 3 things, so many times don't tell me you don't come up with an option, with a response, with a creative solution of what to do.
In the early morning, you get up about 5 p.m. and you're like, you're like barely awake, and then you're sitting there and like you start to see that sun come up, and when you're like, oh, here's a good way.
The light turns on.
Actually, let me send that email to the other realtor and see if and you have this moment of brilliance because your phone's not ringing you off the hook, or you don't have, here's this paper you need to sign, here's this thing, here's that,
all of a sudden we allowed that spark from our father to kind of sparks on us, and we are receptive enough to capture that idea that can help that family to acquire that particular house. That's the way it always happens. That's the way it always happens.
Sometimes we're too caught up on our own day-to-day activity, stress, or whatever it may be, that sometimes we do need a clear head to
You absolutely do, man. And like, unfortunately, I'll tell you guys, one of the regrettable things right now, and I don't think this will be this way forever for me, but I burn the candle at both ends, man. I want to make sure I deliver results, and there's like, I wish sometimes people could shadow me for like a day or 2 to kind of really see the details that I have to stress on to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And I have a pretty good track record of smooth closings. I pride myself on that. It's not like I'm the guy where you show up and you didn't order the paid assessment letter on the condominium or something, and next thing you know, everybody's like, okay, thanks a bunch, Brian. We'll come back here another day and do it again a second time. I have been fortunate. I know, you know what? I'm saying it now, knock on wood. Hopefully that does not happen. But
prepared.
But that's the hard work and preparation and consistency.
Correct.
And I'm thinking of almost the new year already. One thing I am going to work more on in the new year, and I'll say this again, and then one of the next episodes, is time blocking and consistency with that. delegating, always having that time, because then you're the guy who's like, I did hear back from him. It was the next day, but it was it was in that time. Every day he'd get back to me or something. So, but to shift a little bit, what did you do before real estate?
I did everything. I did everything. Well, like anybody else, we all have to start from somewhere.
Right.
As I was telling you earlier, I came here when I was 21. So to me, it was like a starting when
New
I
world,
was 21.
right? New beginning.
Yeah, completely. New
language,
new
new
culture,
everything.
new everything. But
Did you know any English?
no. Well, whatever I was able to pick up over there in school in Mexico, but it was
So
not.
you had some English classes.
Yeah.
You don't use it that much, and that's a tough part of it.
Correct.
If you
No,
don't
we
use it, you
did-
lose it. is what
Correct.
they say.
Yeah, correct. I could write. Back then I could write some English, but I would not be able to speak it, or even worse, understand what they were trying to
That's
tell
the tough
me.
part. Like, I'm a smart
Yeah.
person. I swear to God, I just
I
don't
can
know
put in
anything.
writing. I was able to put in writing so many things, but not really speak it. Not really speak it. So for us, it's so easy to understand our recent immigrants. What they go through. For me, it's like been there, done that. I work
Yeah,
on
like I feel
cleaning.
you, man. Like I've done this too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I worked on cleaning. I worked on cleaning the first couple years, and I actually had a job that I used to work third shift. I would go in at 10:30 at night and come out at 7 in the morning.
Wow. Yeah, it's not.
But I was
easy
going to
do.
school full time. That was the only way I could go to school full time.
Were you in college or what was that?
No, I was taking. Yes, I was at St. Augustine College, and I was taking full classes. I was taking full
That's not
classes
easy.
and
Did
working.
you have children at that time?
No.
Okay, so it makes it a little bit
No.
easier.
I was
Children are that,
23.
like,
I
next
was
level
23.
factor. You're just
I was
like,
23 when
I'll
he came
never
along.
sleep for like the next 20 years, and I don't know. I'm just speaking from what I've heard from other people.
Yeah, no, and then there were times that I would fall asleep reading and doing homework, and that was
Just
my
your face
that was
in a
my
book.
bed. That was my bed.
Oh wow, this is a comfortable pillow. Wait, no, it's not. The page is
Comes
stuck,
up with you.
stuck to my face.
I'll never forget the Loop College, the now Harold Washington College.
yes,
back
yes.
on the 80s.
It's
it was
like
the
Randolph
Loop
and
College.
Wabash.
Yeah.
That's where you went?
Yes,
I used to live right
taking
by there when I
classes
went to
there.
school. Yeah.
I was taking classes there, and I was taking.
So you had to go
classes
back and
here
forth,
there.
or where did you live
no,
at that time?
No, I used to live in Pilsen. I
So
used
you
to
were
live
living in Pilsen, so that's fairly close.
Yeah, and my
it's
job
still
was
enough to be a little
downtown.
bit annoying when you're tired
Yeah.
late at night.
Yeah, and my job was downtown also. So I used to work 6 days and go to school full time, and I didn't have
God
too much
bless
time.
you, my man. Better
I
you
didn't
than
have
me.
no time for
I was
no time to
blessed.
waste. I had no time to waste.
My
but,
father helped me out with college, and then I was on my own for law school, which was very, very expensive. But yeah, I don't know that struggle.
No, but it's just an education. It's a process. It's a process
Yeah,
you
it is
go
a process.
through.
Everything.
We all go through a process one way or the other. I
Yeah.
bet you went through a process, not the same process, a different process, but we all have to go through that process to become who we are, or on the stage that we are to be who we want to be. It's,
We're there now, gentlemen. Thank
Yeah.
God, we are there. So, what got you into real estate then? Where did that come into the picture?
Well, I bought a 2-unit when my son was born. I bought a 2-unit when he was like a year old, and then we bought a second building. We bought an investment building like 3 years after that. And then I actually took the classes with the purpose of learning more about real estate, about
So in
investing.
order to buy and to invest more.
Yes.
So you didn't even
yes.
think at that time, yeah,
No.
I'm going to be not only am I going to be a broker, but I am going to be owning one of the staple names in Southside real estate.
I wanted to know, yes, and I wanted to know, what did the realtors knew? What did my agent knew? What did she knew? What did she knew? How could she be such a great person, such an expert about all the aspects of the building, about the rules, the regulations,
So you're
the
thinking about
bylaws,
the holistic picture.
and I wanted
Like,
to
it's not
educate
just like,
myself.
you can make a good living doing this. It's
Yeah.
like I want to know every aspect of it,
Yeah.
so that I'm a better person, a better
Correct.
investor.
Correct.
And so the spark was there.
Yeah.
So then,
And then,
well,
yeah,
there's a
no,
step in
it's-
between,
yeah.
and I remember his name, William Cahill.
Oh.
You told me about this at the
Yes,
barbecue. Is
my
he still
first
living?
broker. No, rest
Lord
in
rest
peace.
his soul, yeah.
Yeah.
Lord
yes,
rest his
but,
soul, William
yes,
Cahill.
yeah, but Mr.
And that was
Cahill.
Century 21? Or?
Yes, it was
Okay.
on a Century 21 office.
Where was that located?
83rd and Kedzie.
Okay, is that office still there?
No, it's no longer there.
It
Yeah,
passed
no, he
with him,
closed
or-
it. Yeah, he closed the office. They closed the office, but yeah.
And then after
Mr.
that, was that where it came in, or?
Yeah, well, the thing is that I had a pretty good job. I had a really good job prior to that. So since I had taken my real estate classes and passed the exam and everything, I had the transcripts with me for a few months, and I wasn't sure what to do. And then one day, just looking around, I stopped by this Century 21 office from Mr. Cahill. And then and then I stopped by and I asked them if they were hiring, and they were like, "Oh yeah, sure." And the agent there, he gave me his card and he told me, "Call tomorrow and ask for the manager. Her name is this and that. Just make sure you tell her that I refer you to here, okay?" And I was
Okay.
like, "Sure, not a problem." I was like, "Thank you for referring me to
Yeah,
here."
yeah.
You know, I was like, "Thank you. That's not a
So
problem."
you're like, I've already kind of, because you had already taken your classes.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you were
I
in a
mean-
different line of work, but you're like, I'm prepared for this. So
Yeah.
like, this is making sense. So you go in there, and you meet Mr. Cahill at that time, or?
No, I meant his managing broker. He had a managing broker.
And then he was the owner, but he
Correct.
had a managing broker.
Correct. And
So was he hands-on, or could he kind of just let
Yes.
the managing broker handle everything? Or?
yes, he was pretty much hands-on, but practicing it. And he would have someone neutral to manage the office, which I thought it was perfect.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a good
Su
idea.
familia since
Somebody
day
with
one
just
we
a
have
set of
had
eyes
it.
who's like,
Yeah.
here's what I really think, because I don't have a stake in this. Like, here's what I would do, or whatever. That's a great perspective to have before starting
Always.
your business.
So
Always.
that's
always.
been Su Familia's model for the
I might
last
have to
21
get
years.
I might have to
You
get
know-
a managing broker.
Oh, yes.
But not like a broker, because
Oh,
it's
yes.
not.
Office
I'm not
manager.
in
No,
real
we
estate,
have
but an
an
office
office
like
manager.
Well, I think
Yeah.
I might have
We
that
have a-
already, because my assistants, I don't want to put them out in the public light because a lot of people are going to see this, so I won't say their names, but God bless them. I thank them every day for each and everything they do. I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. I'd be drowning. So, but I think I already have that. But now it's a matter of building. But the tough thing for me is this: like, it's tough to make good money and to be successful, but to have to pay out a lot of money first for staff, and then pay the government, and then
See what's
pay
left.
student loans and every other expense. I could go on, the list is a mile long and be down 79th Street here. I'm not going to do that. And then I finally get some money to myself. I'm the last guy to get paid, and you guys
Always.
probably know all about that.
Always.
for 22 years now, going into the 22nd year already. We funded Su
God bless,
Familia.
man.
We
Yeah.
funded Su Familia in 1997, February 1997.
Good years probably to start, yeah.
Yes, and we, since day one, we have always hired a managing broker. And to our managing broker, she was named the managing broker of the year by the Chicago Association of Realtors. She's
Yeah.
gonna be recognized on September the 12th. She's gonna be recognized at the gala at CAR as she's gonna receive an award because she won the managing broker of the year. And Nelly Lara, our very own managing broker of Su Familia.
Oh, Su Familia.
Yes,
Won the car.
Managing broker of the year.
Managing broker of the year.
I'm sure that's not easy to do.
I know.
I'm just gonna repeat
Oh,
that
no,
for the
no,
viewers
no.
out there. The managing brokers we have out here, like, there are some successful offices. We just saw two
Correct.
yesterday at the car breakfast. There was a clash of personalities between Lauren and the other speaker, and I'm sure they have some managing brokers that are real
Oh, yeah.
all-stars. So if you guys got that distinction,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to get to know her. I don't know
Yes,
her either. I'm gonna
of
have to pleasure
course.
meeting your wife or your
Sure,
managing broker.
definitely.
But I will be back more,
Definitely.
especially now, because I feel like we're a little bit closer after this. So I will definitely stop in more. The last time I was at your offices, I was there to hand out some flyers for the barbecue, which you
Correct.
were there. So you already, you were there, and I appreciate that very much. But that was the last time I was in, and at that time,
for the Southwest, you tell me where you want me to be. For the Southwest, I
Realty board, yeah.
go anywhere.
yeah, and I'm glad because, like, there's a lot going on in Chicago, but there's a lot going on the Southwest side, and that's why we need to represent with the Southwest
Correct.
Realty Board. Like,
Correct.
we are here,
Yeah.
we are a
Yes.
powerhouse, and if you need real estate, whatever your real estate needs are in this area,
We can
we
serve
are
it.
here.
Yeah.
And
We are a
you-
familia.
Yes. Yes. Me, Familia, Sue Familia, we are all a family here on the
Yes.
south side. And that's what I
Yes.
love about it, man. Like,
Yes.
we're a quiet, family.
Powerful. Yeah, and
Yes,
powerful.
and that's exactly
Yeah,
why we
yeah,
need the Southwest
yeah.
Realty Board to show that, and to be working like a
Sure.
finely tuned machine. Because, like we were alluding to earlier, like you seeing who is on the other side of that deal and knowing that face, like we can make this happen real easy.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like if there's any
Yes.
problems,
Yes.
like it's not like, oh hi so and so,
No.
let me. Oh, I prefer
No.
text message communications, or I prefer email, and let's talk
No.
a little bit more about
Don't-
it as the transaction
No.
goes on.
You,
It's like,
you usually
what-
pick
hey,
up the phone.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
what's
pick up
up,
the
man?
phone, or
Thank you for
see
the
him,
offer.
You see him at the
It's
grocery
great.
store. You see him at Jewel, and you're like, oh, hey, Gaspar, like, hey, what's going on with this? Like, oh, you know what, the buyers are cool with it. I talked to them, or whatever
Yep.
the case
We'll make
is.
it happen.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
that's
the way
what
to
make
make
it
things
happen.
happen.
Yeah, I always tell them on the real estate community, we're a big familia just with different last names. But we're just a big familia with
I
different
agree.
last names. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll order our food soon because we have to say how good Chuck's barbecue is, and I'm starting to get hungry. So I already know what I'm going to eat because I know what I like and I order what I want, and it is great here.
It is.
But at what point, Gaspar Jr., did you know that real estate was for you? And like, did you help out a lot in the office when you were growing up, or how is you kind of just transition right into it? Like, this is where I'm meant to be.
No, so I kind of like grew up completely away. No, I'm just completely kidding. Su Familia being around, we had to be around. We're from printing out flyers, grabbing printouts, going to open houses, helping out to put up flags, we're doing all that since the beginning. Even before
And you
the
said
Su
we.
Familia.
Do you have siblings too?
Well, I do.
I don't know because I've never
Yes.
met any. Do brothers, sisters? How many?
I'm the oldest of three.
Okay.
I have a younger sister and a younger
Pardon me.
brother. And my sister is very much involved as well.
Oldest of one more time?
Three.
Oh, oldest of three. So
Oldest
a
of three.
sister
And a younger brother.
and a younger brother.
Yeah. And they're just as much as I am fuel to the fire, they are as well.
And see, I'm so glad we did this because like I didn't know all this was going on. Like I think when I think Su Familia, I think you two guys. Like I don't know
No.
your wife
Oh,
is
no,
not there.
no,
Well,
no,
let
no.
me-
Both your
let-
siblings,
let me-
both of
let-
them work there.
yeah.
Both your siblings.
Yeah.
So my sister does, my brother doesn't, but he is in the industry and he is a licensed broker.
Okay. So what does he do?
He's in the mortgage world.
Mortgage?
Yeah, he's in the mortgage world.
He's on the mortgage side.
Yeah, he's
Where
on
does
the
he-
mortgage
Where does he work?
Yeah,
If
he's
you
only
can say it,
25.
Yeah.
He's
He-
only 25.
Yeah.
21?
25.
25.
Yeah, he's 25.
So he's pretty young yet.
Yeah.
And we're all pretty young yet.
Yeah,
Well, we won't
Yeah.
reveal our
He's,
ages.
he's
but-
slightly
yeah.
younger than us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's in the mortgage side. Can
yeah.
you say where he works?
Yeah, he's at Leader One Home Loans.
Leader one.
Yes.
Yeah, Leader One Home Loans.
Good
Yes,
deal.
yes, and
And then your sister is in house with you guys.
Yeah,
yes,
she's
and
at Su
and just to
Familia.
tell you about a little bit about Su Familia and that small familia, anything that we decide, like our biggest thing that we have coming right now is the new location, the new office we're opening
Yes,
up
and
in
I was going to
Bolingbrook.
allude to that too. That's a good thing to start covering before we get to our break to order our
Yeah.
food.
No, the reason I'm telling you, the reason I'm bringing out the real behind the scenes of Su Familia is about that small familia. We spoke about the mom, we spoke about the wife. You know, we a lot of the ideas come from her. You know, so it's common ideas. But whatever is gonna be decided at Su Familia, it has to be screened by Glory, my daughter, and Jermaine, my youngest son.
So you have a couple
It
of filters
goes-
over there, like,
oh,
this ain't
yes.
for us, or yes,
No,
this is for
no,
us.
he
Well,
goes-
then,
he
so
goes
that
through
leads
the
you into
three.
the Bolingbrook
Is it-
location. Like that's how
yeah.
you're kind of like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask you like what went into the decision making process. So tell us what they were thinking when they,
logistic wise, it just made
where
so
the
much
expressway
sense.
is located,
Yeah.
this and
Everything.
that.
Yeah.
So you have a
Well,
bridge between
it's the
southwest
center.
side and far west suburbs.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
center, and it is the center of it is Romeoville, Joliet, Plainfield,
Satellites
Oswego,
all around the
yeah,
planet,
Oswego,
revolving around it like gravity.
Oswego, Montgomery, Aurora. We're gonna be
Areas of
only
growth.
less than 10 minutes away from all these vicinities, from Romeoville, Aurora.
If you want to catch up, you got some
Oswego,
catching up to do when you're
Naperville.
chasing Su Familia because that's where the office is going. So everybody else, you're going to be playing catch up ball.
Yep.
With us, we keep our own pace.
Yeah, yes.
I like that. 'cause
Yeah,
you guys have
we're
learned
not-
from experience. I know you
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
Because
we're not-
the location we're at right now, is that the original location.
No.
So that was not the original
No,
location,
no, no.
and you did have a second location before. That
Yes.
okay? You had three other locations before, all at the same time or different times?
Yes. Well, we had the pleasure to experiment 3 different locations within the neighborhood. One of them being the original one on Cermak in California.
So you were a little bit. Oh, you're pretty far
in between.
north then.
Yeah, we were in between Little Village and Pilsen, right on
I
Cermak in
think you're in a good
California.
spot now. That's probably not a bad area, but
And-
I mean to have the office.
Correct. And then at one point we had the 3 places open: Cermak in California, Kedzie and 55th, and Pulaski and
The
54th.
current location. So you had
Yes.
you did have
We
all
have
Correct.
3 open.
And then we put up the addition that we expanded the building on Pulaski, and we merged and we concentrated all the business on Pulaski.
Which was a good idea. That is a
Yeah.
beautiful office, and because
Thank you.
when I went there to drop off the flyers, that was my first time being in
Oh.
there.
Awesome.
Like in person anyway. So I walked in, I'm like, wow, it kind of has a homey feel. You get in, there's a hallway, and it kind of feels like
Thank you.
It's like you're at home. It's like
Yeah.
you want to go see somebody, you walk in, it has that real homey feel where I'm going to see so and so in their home, in each office.
We want our customers and clients to feel like they're in a home. That's what they're
That's
doing.
what the feeling I got when I went there.
That's what they're doing
and-
when they're at our office.
So we just stayed on Pulaski, and when last year when the idea about the other office came up, we were looking for places to serve our people in different areas, not the surrounding suburbs. I mean,
Yeah.
we can serve all the surround suburbs from Pulaski. We're 10 minutes to Burbank, Oakland, Summit, LaGrange. We're 10 minutes away. And the reason we chose Weber's Road over there is because it is just the center of all those vicinities. The Aurora, the Naperville,
Well, I'm
the
interested to
Bolingbroke.
see how it goes going forward. I mean, just go into
Yeah.
it full force and
Oh,
see
yes.
what happens. And
Oh, yes.
So, are you trying to get new agents in that area, or are you bringing some people are going to be at that office, or how's it going to work?
It's two different offices, 2 different sets of agents, but our agents have the luxury of working in both.
Serving
So-
the city
Yeah, if they're
and
out
the
doing a
suburbs.
show, yeah, because
Yeah.
Whatever
you
works
probably
best
have an
for
agent
clients.
doing like Joliet, and they're like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
this is so far away from where I'm at. But if you got home base, you can stop
Yeah,
in,
correct.
get on your computer, have a coffee, and eat
Yes.
something, or
And
or
it's not
go
a
back after. the
and
show.
it's not a small place. It's 2,600 square feet. So it's not a
Is it
little.
fully finished?
We're completely redoing it right
yeah.
now.
Oh,
It
you're
should be
redoing
done,
it, okay.
It should
So
be
when-
done in about.
I don't know if you want to reveal it in this
Yeah.
video, but do you have a grand opening date already, or
But-
is it kind of
no,
you're going
in
to wait and see how the
October.
remodel goes?
Yeah.
By October, more likely at the
Yeah.
beginning of October.
Oh, that's
yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
coming.
no, it is.
It's coming.
It is almost. It is almost
Yeah.
getting there. It
Yeah,
is almost
we're-
getting
we're
there.
That'll be here.
But
It's
we're
gonna be
gonna
like
be-
that because you
yeah.
know
But we're
you got
gonna
NAHREP
be-
coming up. You may as well chop
We-
off the first half of your
Yeah.
September
We
because
have-
you know that's
yeah.
coming. So like the week before, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to get my bags together. I
Oh,
got to
yeah,
get everything
we
ready
have
for
the
NAHREP.
and we have the anchor spot of Weber Plaza. We're right on the corner of Weber and Rodeo Drive. Right on the corner. It's the anchor spot of Weber Plaza.
You guys aren't
So-
moving out there, are you?
so-
No. So you'll still
No.
be.
Oh yes.
So
oh
my-
yes.
so
oh
my-
yes.
No, our office still staying in the same place. We're all sticking in the same place. My sister lives in.
It's just
in
more.
the
It's a
area.
satellite office, but
Yeah.
we'll see where it goes.
No, it's a full-on office.
Okay.
Full-on
Full-on
office. My sister lives in the area already, so it just kind of helps
Okay.
out a little bit.
Well, yeah,
But-
she's right there to kind of like keep an eye on
Oh,
things. Like,
exactly.
not
Oh, yes.
you have to worry about it too
Oh,
much.
yes.
But it's like, oh, I'm right
Yeah.
there. Like,
But
okay,
it will
something
be-
happened at the office.
Oh,
I'll be
yeah.
over there. Like, I'll get
But it will
taken
be
care
a
of.
full-service office, open Monday through Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Regular business hours, same as the regular Su Familia and Pulaski.
Right
And
on.
It's
And
just,
for the agents, the
Yeah.
agents will be so huge to be able to meet clients over there or clients here in the city.
it
They
just-
have suburban clients; they can meet them on Weber.
So do you feel
Yeah.
that you have been doing a lot of business in that area already
Correct.
anyway, and so it's
Yes.
just kind of a
Yes.
good fit?
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay,
It
so now,
just
yeah.
brings it in because what we noticed is that a lot of our clients work in the city, but they live out in the burbs. So with us, it makes it a little bit easier. Where out of work, do you want to meet in the city, or do you prefer meeting closer to your home?
Yeah.
And it just gives us a little bit more of a dimension. more or
Okay,
less.
yeah, well that's good too, because when I'm out in the area, maybe I'll stop by and
You
I have
should,
a place, I have a
always.
good
Got
place
to.
where I know I'm amongst good people.
Of
out
course.
there,
Oh, yes.
out
Of
in
course,
Joliet.
of
And I don't
course.
get out that way too much. I used to have a friend who lived over there, but he actually moved to Justice. So like the farthest I would get out sometimes would be to visit him in Joliet. And I'm gonna send a shout out to the Morrison family. God bless. I love you guys so much. You're like family to me. Like I feel like we're becoming like family just by doing this. But I had my friend out there, and he's now back in Justice,
Nice.
which actually makes it easier to see him. But based on how busy we both have been, he's very busy with his own work. I'm busy with mine.
Oh, yeah.
Like just to even do this, like we're all blocking time off our calendars.
Correct.
But well, good things ahead. I look forward to hearing how it goes, and maybe we'll do a little follow-up video in the future, a shorter one, just to see how the new office is going.
Sure.
But I know we won't know that fully right away until like next year, probably sometime, or the year after that. Hopefully, the market will stay hot.
We gotta work.
We
gotta
do have to
work. We gotta work.
We do face different challenges going forward, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that's just because the cost of materials might go up with tariffs and things like that. And we won't even get into all that right now, but we'll see what that does for the real estate market and new construction. But the great thing about what we're doing here now, the conversation we're having, and being involved with NAHREP and being involved with the Chicago Association of Realtors is we have a brain trust of very smart people who will make results happen regardless of what market we're in.
Correct.
And we always have to
Correct.
adapt and overcome.
Correct.
So that's a great point to get to our food review here for Chuck's Barbecue. I can't wait to fall in love with the meal that's about to come out right now. So we'll be right back in just a little bit. We're about to order some delicious food, and we'll see you in a couple of moments. We're back here at Chuck's Southern Comforts Cafe. Chuck's Barbecue for short. I have two menus in front of me, and I also have some soup in front of me. I'm really excited because the main meal is coming out very soon. I want to highlight a few things for the viewers out there why you should try Chuck's. I mean, I don't even have to even get to the specifics of the menu. In general, their food is delicious. A few things I want to highlight first here. There's different soups every day. I have the cream and chicken rice. This is one of the best cream and chicken rice soups I've ever had. This is what it's meant to be. It's very thick, very good cream taste to it. It's not watered down like a lot of the other soups you get out there at different restaurants. I have their specials here, Chuck's specials in front of me. Like I said, they have the different soups: seafood gumbo, cream of chicken rice, which is what I have, cream of poblano cup, mom's chicken noodle. It just has a nice sound to it. But the salads, Chuck's Barbecue has their own gardens. So if you want to eat organic, you are getting as organic as it gets, and you are getting vegetables that are of Chuck's discriminating taste. So he knows what is the best. So if you're gonna come, you want a nice healthy meal, nice healthy salad, add some lean chicken on top of that, Chuck's Barbecue is the place to come because you are getting right out of Chuck's garden. Another thing I want to highlight is the different choices you have in barbecue sauces here. You have on the bottom, I went with the honey chipotle barbecue. I like my barbecue sauce a little bit sweeter. But we have on here mild barbecue, hot barbecue, the honey chipotle, North Carolina barbecue, and the Korean barbecue, and lastly, buffalo. Here's how the sauces came to be here at Chuck's. So Chuck, with a partner of his, business partner of his, went to the South, and they toured all sorts of different states and areas and tried different barbecue sauces there and asked them different things about their recipes and combined them all to make his own sauces perfectly the way he wanted them to. So when you get this here, you know that the Pepsi challenge has been taken and it has been passed. You are eating some of the best. I can't say, I don't know about some of the other barbecue spots in the city, but this is easily one of the best. So we'll be right back in just a few moments once we get our main entree. Breaking Bread with Brian, Renee Costa behind the camera. Back with you here at Chuck's Barbecue. You can see we do all have our food in front of us now. So I'm going to tell you what I have in front of me. We're all going to try a little bit and tell you how it tastes. You already know, but we're going to tell you anyway. Here I have in front of me the cream of chicken rice soup. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but it's a beautiful color and it tastes as delicious as it looks. I'm going to have a spoonful right now. When I first got this, it was probably at the stage where they're at right now. They ordered their soups after me because they looked at it for long enough while we were talking, and they know it's delicious.
Bring us
just by
one.
looking at it.
We're like, we need
we'll
one.
We'll take 2 more soups. So mine is nice. It's at the temperature where you can eat it without burning your mouth. It's delicious. It's thick and creamy. I don't know if they put some cheese in it or something. It's so goddamn good. Just very, very creamy. Over here I have my, and we might want to edit out that last part. We'll leave it in there. Whatever. We're all human beings. We have the brisket dinner. So I'm going to turn this around here and let you see what we're looking at. And Renee, are we picking this up in the camera? Okay. So I'm going to push this over here. look at that brisket. Like, they took the best piece they had, cut it into lean strips here, perfectly singed on the outside, the color, and look at that presentation. I have honey chipotle barbecue on mine, as I mentioned earlier. And what do you have there, Gaspar?
I got the mild sauce.
So he went with mild.
Yep.
We'll see. We're each going to take a bite of this in just a moment. For sides, I have the macaroni and cheese. And if, like, the cream and chicken soup is like one of those things where you're like, oh my God, I already had a delicious thing, and now I'm having the mac and cheese. The last thing I have here is the green beans. So with all my comfort food here, well, this is lean protein, so we're pretty good with the brisket. This is obviously comfort food. I could have ordered 2 of them, which wouldn't have been a mistake. But I do have the green beans here to try to like trick myself into think I'm doing something healthy. And for interest of full disclosure, I'm not going to eat this all right now because I don't want to be in a food coma. And I do have a 3 o'clock, and we're shooting like it's right around 2 p.m. now while we're doing this. So everybody else, tell them what you have, and we'll take a bite out and tell them how good it is.
Sure, I have the house salad with. I told them to put some chicken on the top, and well, speaking of the vegetables on the salad, didn't you mention they have their own
They
garden?
have their own garden, so
where
all
they
these
raised all the
vegetables
vegetables.
There's no, like big
Organic
big
at its
farm.
best.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
This is Chuck's own vegetables. He has 2 different gardens. I'm guessing one is closer to each location he has. We are at the location of Chuck's Barbecue in Burbank. There's also a Darien, Illinois location. So and look at that chicken. The presentation here, perfectly grilled, all the way through, and the outside, like nice char on it. Probably going to make for some great flavor on that.
Oh yes.
And well, let's call it, I guess. And then so we almost got the same thing, except for different barbecue sauces. And you got mashed potatoes, and I got green beans.
Yeah, I stayed true to my fat boy problems.
Yeah.
Made sure to get the mashed potatoes, and Chuck's is always good, so I'm excited about this.
And I feel like I have like a smiley face in front of me right here. I have 2 eyes and this beautiful brisket. This is gonna be so good. Like they don't leave any detail left untouched here at Chuck's Barbecue. So I'm gonna dig in. Let's all dig in, and we'll tell them how good it is. And everybody watching, I don't tell people when they make mistakes often, but if you don't come to Chuck's Barbecue, you will definitely be making a mistake. You can see the atmosphere in the background. It's very laid back here on a Thursday. A little bit of music, a little bit of conversation. We're blessed here. So here we go. Here's the brisket. Look at that. There's a little close shot of that. Oh my goodness.
Yummy.
Very delicious. Gentlemen, I couldn't have asked for a better Thursday afternoon here. Like, this is what life's about. To take this break and enjoy our Friday together.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you for the
You're welcome.
invitation.
Yeah, no,
Glad
it's
to have you
great.
guys here. Good to get to know you better.
Yes.
Thank
I didn't know we were neighbors, man.
I didn't either. Like, that was a secret. Like, I guess for both of us. So I live close by, but my mom's, the home where I was born and raised, is just down the street from where they live. Now, do you guys all live over there, or?
It's just my parents now.
Okay, just your parents. Are you still like in the neighborhood? Did you go to the suburbs, or where you at?
I'm a city boy.
Okay, me
so,
too. Yeah.
Still in the city.
Still with all these good restaurants here on the south side. I don't know
We
how it
have
is
to
on the
be.
north side. I will be venturing up there for some of these videos, but you know where our heart's at. And some people wear their heart on their sleeve. You literally have it on your lapel. So
We have to.
Yes, sir. Professionals, true professionals.
Thank you, Brian.
It's very good. Barbecue sauce is sweet, but not too sweet. We're doing it just right here. Time for a little mac and cheese. Green beans last. You gotta wait green beans. Mac and cheese first. You touched that mac and cheese yet, or no? Am I the first one?
That's how I started.
Oh, he goes for dessert first.
Yes.
I love it. No dessert here. If you come to Chuck's Barbecue, I'm sure the dessert's great. I've had it once or twice. One thing I do also like here before the meal is jalapeno cornbread. Shout out to my guy Jason Welch from John Marshall Law School. He loves the cornbread, the jalapeno cornbread here. So do I. Very nice little appetizer before the meal. But none of that today. We're staying light on our toes and our feet so we can make it through the rest of our afternoon. That's an experience. It's not just mac and cheese. If you haven't had it, like this is its own
good.
entity here. Like
It's
whatever's
good.
going on. Now it's time for a little healthy stuff to wash this mac and cheese down. Pardon my reach. Well, folks, I think you've seen what Chuck's has to offer. I don't have to sell it anymore. Like I said, it's a mistake if you don't come here. The food is so good. I mean, if you haven't been out on a date night recently, this is where you want to come. Great atmosphere, great people. I just met the owner, both owners here. Just good, genuine people. In fact, I'd love to do a breaking bread with them sometime, and maybe we'll see that in the future. I guess to wrap it all up, again, the man behind the camera who makes this all happen, Renee Costa, Blum Visual, for all your marketing needs, for all your real estate needs on the southwest side. Sioux Familiar Real Estate also branching out into Bolingbrook. As we mentioned, the new office is going to be out there, so good things have come. And we're enjoying the fruits of our labor and our bounty here. We're blessed. So we're going to stay blessed. You stay blessed too. And stay tuned for the next one. This has been Breaking Bread with Brian. We love you. Just keep on sharing this as much as you can. Peace.
Bye, everybody. Take care.